today the look that we're creating is a date night look. I'm just going to use a little bit of facial oil on her. A lot of companies have facial oils. You can go for natural brands like Juicy Chemistry. This is something which will calm the skin down also and give a nice glow on the skin and make the skin look really healthy. I'm going to use a Juicy Chemistry lip balm, which is again a very herbal lip balm. I believe in using a lot of skincare which is very organic and very has natural essential oils in them. Next is I'm going to use a primer for her, and the primer that I'm going to use is also a soft primer, and I'm going to use it again with hands because this is something which has skin radiance, pearl extract, and also it has willow bark extract, which is going to retexturize her skin really well. So I do not want to use something very hard on our skin because the look that we are doing demands a glowy look and rested, healthy skin look. So now I'm going to use the concealer. I'm using a very good texture of a concealer. By that I mean the concealer is thin. It is also full coverage, and it has humidity resistant qualities and oil resistant qualities. So it's not going to move, it's not going to flow out, it's going to stay very long. It's prolonged wear, and also at the same time it won't crack the skin, right? I have already prepped the skin really well, so I'm using prolonged wear concealer from MAC. This is really nice. So, and it also feels very natural. I'm using it really less first, and then I'll build up according to the need. Please don't go ahead and use a product which is too heavy or pat it onto the skin and try to blend it. In this look, you want to have first the very less amount, the least amount, and then build up as it looks natural at the same time. Right? If your model or you have freckles and you want to show off your freckles, most welcome. You don't need to really cover them completely. Keep them partially visible. You can use a medium build-up product and let the freckles be visible while you're doing your makeup. In fact, reinforce the freckles after you've done the makeup with a darker concealer or a darker concealer pencil. So that also looks really nice. Freckles look cute. So, and they give a very natural look to the skin while you are wearing makeup as well. They defy the visibility of makeup. So I'm just using a little bit of concealer first and blending it in the inner corners of her eye and under her eye, because that's where she has a little bit of shadows, and I want her to look really fresh for this look. That's you can use the concealer that suits you, but try and use something which is really soft in texture and it's thin. Because when it's thin, it's going to sit up on the skin well. And the concealers which are HD, like this one that I'm using, it has HD qualities. It also has optical diffusers. So optical diffusers will make the visibility of fine lines and textures of the skin a lot less. Right? So that is the reason I'm asking you to use something like this, where you really want to be seen close. So I'm just using it on in the corners of her nose, wherever there's a little bit of redness, a little bit of shadow. And then I will use the foundation. So just even it out very less. The quantity is very less that I'm using. My purpose is only to even it out. If your model or you are using it and you don't have any shadows on the skin, then you can pretty well go with a little strobing, and you can even use foundation directly and then highlight your skin with a suitable color of concealer which is lighter, or a cream highlighter. That depends on the coverage requirement of the skin. Now here on my model, I need a little bit of coverage, that's why I'm using it, and brightening her skin and evening it out first and then going to the next step. Really important, because if your skin is even, any look will open up better. So very important to make sure that it's even before you go to the next step. So now I'm just going to use and pat foundation. This is really sheer buildable coverage foundation. It has a glow to its texture. It gives you a wet, nice look, and it is buildable. The coverage is really buildable. So you can build the coverage after putting it by stippling it as you want. I'm using a wedge sponge because that's the best way when you want to use the product which is there and spread it evenly. I really don't want to sweep in and put a lot of product on her skin. So I've taken very less and I'm just trying to use whatever is there on the sponge by pressing it. I have not chosen for something really light or something even to the lightest tone of her skin on her face. I'm choosing something way in the middle, because when you are going for an occasion where you want to look natural, could be different lights, it's safe to play a little dark, not dark, but as close as possible to your skin. And if you have uneven tones, even it out with something in the middle. Don't choose for the lightest tone on your face. So if you're tanned, there might be certain areas in your skin which will be very light and certain areas which will be very dark. So choose something in the middle. Like, don't try to take the absolute light color and put it up. You'll have to do a lot of work there and it may still look great, right? So since my model has a little bit of tan, she loves running and gymming, so I'm just using something which glows her skin and gives her a nice tan glow on the skin and looks even. Trust me, if the skin is looking even, you can always brighten it later. But if it is not even, no amount of brightening concealers or brightening highlighters will make it work. So this glow that you see, the shine on the skin, we will control it at certain areas just to give her a fresh look. And right now it just looks really healthy. And these products will, because it has a base which is really well done and her skin is hydrated, it's going to sit well and give her this glow all through the day. Had her skin been a little dry, it will sit up and become crusty. So that is the reason I pointed out that you need to make your canvas really ready. Now her foundation is done, her skin looks really glowy. I'm going to use a powder, to use a very thin powder, less. I'm going to just place it under her eyes so that this area, corner of the eye, this is where you never want it to look oily or sweaty, because if you make it even shine, which is the front face, this corner, it'll make you look tired and sweaty and oily. You don't want to do that. You never want your nostrils to shine. So these are the places that I'm going to place the powder. When you're creating a look like this, when you want to be seen close, you want to look natural yet beautiful, or a lot of camera flashes are going to flash out in you, because that also brings out the visibility of the makeup. Try and go as natural as you can. So now I'm going to contour her skin, and I'm going to use a cream contour, because again I don't want to use too many powder products. And the contour for this kind of a look will be really soft. Try and make it natural. It should not look like overly done. Always keep in mind it's a date, right? You don't want to be seeing it as something absolutely put on, right? Made up. So very less, to the amount that it just gives her that nice curve on the face, nice chisel on the face, and not the drama that we are looking for here. It's a very romantic glow that we want to give to the face. And even the dimensions can be normal, very normal. So wherever you expect to have a little shadow falling on your face to make it look really nice is where you'll put the contour, but very nicely, very softly. I'm putting a contour which is cream and I'm blending it very softly. I'll touch it up with a little bit of bronzer later to just add that healthy glow on her skin, but that will be later. My model's nose is really sharp and beautiful, so I'm not contouring her nose too much. Just adding a little bit under her nose to just give her a little shortness. You don't want to elongate the nose, right? That's it. Not too much. We'll touch up the bronzer later. So we are using very less blush. We'll touch it up later once after the look finishes to see the intensity as much as required with the eye makeup, right? So very less. Now I see I need a little bit of brightness on her skin, so I'll use a nice soft mineralized concealer to create that brightness under her eyes in the inner corners. Using this eye primer, which is also a long wear shadow from MAC. So I'm just using a fluffy brush, and I'm fluffing it all over her eyelid, all over the lid space. Make sure you use it only over the lid space, because it has a skin color. Does not mean that you can use it under the eyes, because under the eyes it'll crack the skin. This all the eye primers, mostly all the good eye primers which are going to make your makeup stay long, they have a tendency of being waterproof, crease proof, and they are dry by the virtue of it. So we're going to use eyeshadow. I'm using a peach color, again colors which are close to the skin. I'm using a peach color. Ayashna, you can close your eyes. And I'm giving a nice flush first close to her lash line. So every look that we are creating, everything that we'll apply on the eye is to enhance the dreaminess of the eye, enhance the shape of the eye that she has. We are not trying to make it structurally very defined, right? So it's her and it's beautiful. That's what the motto is. Here I'm just flushing the same color on both eyes, and I'm making sure that it's a little intense towards the lash line and lightly flushed over. It's kind of grading up, and I don't want any stark lines in this look. I'm just touching the color, dusting off the extra, and I'm making sure that I'm putting my pinky finger on her face and I'm very lightly blending it off. Very lightly. And I'm flushing it off on her skin in the outer crease, if you notice. So you can't see harsh lines anywhere. You can't see harsh lines in this area. You can't see harsh lines in this area. Now I'm going to use a brown eye pencil, a very soft pencil from MAC. So I'm going to use it close to her. I always hold the eye like this, because I don't want to be pulling it this way, that way to irritate the eye area. It's really, and also when you pull it, you actually get a proper reach near the lashes into the bump. So you want it pretty precise. You want it seen but not seen, right? That is the key. I want it really precise. Application should be precise, and it should give that nice drama. So I'm going to use, say, a pencil brush, and I'm going to blend this color off to create that gradation from the lashes. So I'm blending the pencil, and I am pulling the pencil up and out to create a liner effect. Not really liner, but a lift, and blend it up. Now I'm using again the pencil on this side, using the brush to blend the upper part of it very smoothly, and pull it up and out. Make sure you take it really up and out. It does not come straight until somebody has really strong upturned eyes. If somebody has really strong upturned eyes, then you can do this thing and pull it straight. I'm just using this. It is a pressed pigment. It is very close to the eye. You have such kind of pressed pigments which gives a little twinkling feeling on the skin. So I'm using it in her inner corner and on the lid space, unlike the other times. So generally when you use this kind of a product, you'll use it, or shines, you'll use it on the lid space or the moving eyeball area. But here I'm using it in her inner corner of the eye, which will reflect light and will open up her eye really well. And I'm also using it in a little bit of lid space, not total, because I don't want to take off the drama of the peach and the shine that we have created, right? So this nice glow that comes from the inner corner will open up her eye, and she'll look fresh and she'll look glamorous, but not in the conventional way. Just close your eye, Ashna. I'm using it in the inner corner of her eyes and just flushing it towards the eye. And with a fluffy brush, generally you will use a flat brush to deposit the shines, but here I'm using a fluffy brush because my purpose is to give that nice twinkling, glimmery feel to the skin and a little bit of shine, light reflection, but the reflection has to be romantic. And I'm also using a very thin brow pencil here. All I'm going to do is just brush it backwards and see if there are any gaps. So just see, if you brush it backwards, you see my model hasn't got any gaps. beautifully made brow. She's really blessed. But only at the top, I'll just kind of define it so that you can't see the gaps between the hair. And go backwards, because when you're going backwards, you're just filling in instead of drawing or sketching an artificial brow. So you'll fill in the product in between the hair. And now I'm going to use a little bit of highlighter to top it up. So highlighter has not, in this, make sure it's not over the board. You don't want to use too much of highlighter. You don't want to make it like a shiny disco ball. I want it really, really at the right place. Way less, right? It's just for that candlelight to glow. So the pivot point can be this, and you just bring it down very little on the high point of the cheekbone and blend it off. Make sure to use a very small brush so that you can create the intensity at the same time. You can blend it, and you can actually make sure that the place is precise. Placement is extremely important for this kind of skin creation and look, because you don't want to do something which goes all over and it will spoil the whole look. And it plays a big role when you're placing the right product at the right intensity at the right place on the face, right? So that is something you need to practice. So I'm just putting it here, bringing it really less, so less that it just gives you that impression, but it does not look like a highlighter put on the skin. It kind of amalgamates with the whole look. On the nose for her, I don't want to put it anywhere but just the tip a little bit, right? Just the tip and a little bit on the bridge. I don't want to highlight her. She already has a very sharp nose, so you don't want to overdo any of the features, right? A little bit on the cupid's bow. You always do this before you put the lip color, right? Now, okay, so I'm going to curl her eyelashes and do the mascara so that it sets up before we do her lashes. So just ask her if she's comfortable, or if you're doing it yourself, feel it. Are you comfortable, Yashna? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Generally, that much of a curl will be good if the lashes are not too straight. So always curl the lashes even before you're putting false lashes or mascara. Please don't curl lashes after putting mascara, because that will break your lashes. So I'm going to roll the brush first on the upper lashes, because sometimes you have a little bit of fallout of the shadow that you have put. It'll take care of that. And then from the bottom, you can just fan out the lashes a little bit, and it'll take over with the curl that you've already caused and sit. Right? I don't want to use too much. That's the only purpose to use. Just put it over the lashes that you're using. Just take off the color and fan them off. Since you have already curled your lashes, they're going to very nicely curl up quickly without much ado and efforts. I'm going to put lashes for her, but I'm going to use single lashes. All you have to do is ask her to close her eye, stick it close into the bump of the eye where the eyelashes grow, hold it for a while there, stick it to the lashes, leave it. So that's the same thing I'll do on this side. Outer corner is the first choice, and hold it until it sets up a little bit, sticks up, and then let it dry by itself. So now we're going to go to the lip. We had already prepped it with lip balm. Before you start the lip, make sure that you just take off the extra lip balm. You don't want the product to run. So I'm going to use a darker lip pencil first, and I'm going to line her lips. So now she has perfect glamour lips, so I'm not cheating the lip here. I'm just following her lip line, and shorter strokes, I'm just making a proper lip line for her. Make sure you scribble while you're making it. Can you stretch your lips, Yashna? Yeah, perfect. So when you stretch the lips, especially the lower lip, you get a perfect lip line when it comes to bottom. Now, please use the pencil in a slipping manner, or the side of the pencil, to fill the lip as much as you can. Now in this, I'm using tints. So I'm using a darker tint on her outer. You can open your lips, Yashna. Yeah, perfect. So I'm using a darker tint on her outer lip line. These tints, they have really good stay value and they stay for very long. Even if the gloss goes, the color effect sometimes even stays overnight, even if you just don't nicely take them off. Now I'm going to use another color which is a little more brighter red, and it is matte. It's going to be in the middle. So open your mouth a little bit, part your lips. So this is in the middle and this is brighter. I'll also give a nice ombre effect to the lips. Despite the fact that it's dark, I'm going to use a lip brush and lightly blend it in the places where it's mingling with the other color. Now I will make sure that I just touch up her blush a little, because that now after the eyes are done, you want to see a bit more color. You can use a cream blush, but since I used a lot of cream products on my skin, I just used a matte powder blush. Last but not least, I'm going to use a bronzer, and I'm going to use it with a big brush. I'm going to warm up her face, and remember, bronzers have a little bit of shine in them. They're not very matte, so they will just add a little bit of warm shine to her skin. That's all. That looks more glamorous. I'll just spray her makeup fixer. Very important. This is something you can carry with you when you're doing a date night look. Thank you.